y'all, what's up? It's your girl LaResa Eyvon, and I am back. With another video for you guys. I know y'all are probably sitting over there thinking, girl, Miss Man, where have you been? On my timeline, on my timeline, where have you been on my timeline? 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 And I get it, because I'm asking the same question, like, girl, where have you been? Let me just say that 2024 was an extremely long year, but really everything started at the end of 2023. If you all remember, and you probably don't, like, because let's be honest, I don't think I have uploaded a sit down talking with you all video since like maybe October, November of 2023. So we're just gonna go back there and just kind of talk through some of the things that occurred that kept me from being able to show up in this space the way that I really wanted to. So at the end of 2023, I felt God telling me to like slow down. To back it up even further, I have been creating content since, I would say 2019, but I really started taking it serious, like being consistent and showing up consistently and kind of figuring out my niche and all of those things in 2020. So I have been creating content for a while. Now I know there's people out here that have been creating content for 10, 15 years, but consistently showing up online for 3, 4 years is a lot. Is a lot on me as a person, is a lot on my family in a sense, because they kind of have to adapt to what I have going on so that I could consistently produce. I don't have a team of people. It is literally just me, or it's me and my husband. He was taking a lot of my photos, or it's me, my husband, and my son. Now, this year, those things might change a little bit, but back then, like when you're first starting out, honey, I'm not making no money to be paying a team. So we are the team. The fam is the team. And so it's a lot on everybody. And so I really did. At the end of 2023, God was like, slow down. My mom was experiencing some medical issues, some mental health issues. And she ended up having to have a craniotomy, like a brain surgery, at the beginning of December of 2023. Very serious surgery, you know, and so with that, it was like, okay, I have to focus on my mom. My mom is not married. She does have a lifetime long partner. He's been in our life for almost 20 years at this point, but you know, she's not married. They're not married. And her parents are gone. She is an only child. And so I had to step away to be able to like take care of my mom. And at the same time, try to take care of myself mentally, because seeing your mom, who my mom is very strong and like independent and all of these things, and to see her kind of not be able to be herself was a lot for me. And so she had the brain surgery at the beginning of December. I want to say it was December like the 7th of 2023. And almost immediately was experiencing some complications from that surgery. Just to kind of speed this along, on Christmas Eve of 2023, we had to rush her to the emergency room. And on December the 27th of 2023, she had to have a second brain surgery, a second craniotomy. And so that whole, 2 weeks that she should have been healing you're now kind of starting that clock all over because they had to go in. Now, this second surgery wasn't as serious as the first one, but it was a complication from the first surgery that they had to go in and correct. And so, we basically started all over. Like, the road to recovery started all over. And so we entered 2024 with my mom, like, just getting out of the hospital. I think she got out of the hospital on New Year's Eve. So she was able to ring in 2024 at home, which was like a blessing. But it was a lot. Like, it was just, you had 2 back-to-back brain surgeries. Having 2 back-to-back any type of surgery is just a lot on the body. But imagine having to have your head opened up 2 times. You see what I'm saying? So it was a lot for me. Emotionally, it was a lot for her, physically and emotionally. I had to be there for her. I still had to be there for my family. I still had to try to be there for myself. And so it was like, in that moment, it was like, okay, I know exactly why God told me to slow down. So I really slowed my content creation down at the beginning of 2024. And then on January the 23rd, so just 3 days from when I'm actually recording this video. Today is January the 20th. It is MLK Day. That's the only thing I'm celebrating on this day. Y'all can celebrate whatever y'all want to on this day. But the only thing that I'm celebrating is the fact that it's MLK Day. But on January the 23rd, my husband called his mom, my mother-in-law, and she just didn't sound right. So he immediately called his dad. His mom and dad are no longer together either. Were no longer together. They were divorced as well. And so he called his dad. Carter actually had basketball practice that day, and my husband usually is the one who takes him to practice. He was like, can you take him to practice? I was like, I got this. He got down to his mom's house. His mom was in a very bad way. They rushed her to the ER. Come to find out, she was having a massive heart attack. So they go through all of that. They get her pretty much in stable condition. She's in the hospital for about a week and a half, I want to say. Seemed to be doing really well, to the point that they ended up releasing her around the week and a half, 2-week mark. She came home, and when she got home, she just kind of never quite like got back right, if you will. And so eventually we had to take her back to the hospital. She was in the hospital for like I want to say a couple of more weeks. She ended up having to be on a ventilator. And eventually they told us that we had to make that difficult decision about basically turning the ventilators off. She wasn't going to get any better. Like, it's a whole long story, but basically things took a turn for the worse, and she was on a ventilator. He had to make that difficult decision to turn the ventilators off, and on on February the 13th, so one day before Valentine's Day, she passed. And so that was the beginning of my 2024. My mom is healing from having 2 back-to-back craniotomy surgeries, and my mother-in-law suffered a massive heart attack and passed away. So from that point, we are planning a funeral, and then it's like I had to step up for my guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to be there for my husband because, you know, he lost his mom, but I kind of lost a second mom. Me and my husband have been together for over 20 years. So she's been in my life for over 20 years. And so it was a lot. It was a lot to process. It was a lot for my son, who's 8 and was 7 at the time, to process. And so then I really felt like God was like I understood like why God was like, listen, girl, listen, little girl, sit down somewhere, okay? And I was like, yes, sir. I hear you, God. I hear you. And so I did. I sat my black tail down, okay? I sat my little black ass down, if I'm being honest with y'all. And I really just took time off. I tried to keep showing up for my what was then called Work Your Wins, and we'll get all into that maybe in this video, but I will have a dedicated video for all of the Work Your Wins talk. But I tried to keep showing up for that, and eventually that was like a weekly live that I did on Instagram, and I couldn't even do that anymore because it was a lot. It was a lot for me to be processing my emotions. It was a lot for my husband to be processing the loss of his mom and his emotions. And then our son, who is 7, who has never experienced a loss or of this magnitude, he was processing it as well. And so we had to help him get through that process as well. So everybody's grieving and, you know, just trying to pick back up and keep going. And that's a lot. That is a lot on you emotionally. It's a lot on you physically. It's just a lot. I don't know if you all can tell, but I lost 30 pounds. I started 2024 with this whole idea of like, I'm going to hit the ground running. I'm changing my diet. I'm going to be working out. All of these things. Like the beginning of 2024 felt like a bright light. And so I remember the entire month of January, I worked out 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I cut out a lot of my sweets because sweets is my thing. Like ice cream every single night, if I'm being honest, is my thing. Nope, not anymore. But that's like who I was. And so I literally cut out my sweets. I could only have ice cream once per week, and that was on like a weekend. I was like, my diet was impeccable. I'm eating my fruits and my vegetables and like all of the things, right? So January, I was like going hard. My diet was great. The working out was great. I want to say I don't remember exactly how much it was because that was a long time ago, but I want to say I lost around 4 to 5 pounds that very first month of me just committing to like being a better version of me, right? But I'm gonna be honest with you, when February hit and my mother-in-law is declining and we're back and forth at hospitals and my husband's away at the hospital because his mom doesn't have siblings that live here. She has an older brother, and he's like, he at the time was almost 80, I want to say. And so it's not like she had people that could come down and like be with her or give him a reprieve or anything like that. So he was like, God bless my husband. God bless that man. Like, if I didn't love him before, which of course I did, like the love that I have for him grew just seeing how committed and dedicated he was to taking care of his mom. And so that kind of left me, I don't want to say raising Carter alone, but there were a lot of nights that it was just me and Carter, and it was a lot. And so it was like, in February I tried to work out, I want to say that first week, and after that whole thing just fell off. Okay. It was like, work out who? Work out what? No, I ain't got time for this girl. Like, we not working out. But what I did do was keep up with my diet, so to speak. And when I say my diet, I wasn't dieting, but I started intermittent fasting. I kind of made sure that I was staying in a caloric deficit. And those two things alone helped me to lose 30 pounds. I ain't telling nobody what to do. I'm not saying the way that it happened for me was healthy. A lot of people ask me, like, how did you lose all this weight? And I'm probably a little too honest. But one, I don't want nobody thinking I did Ozempic, Kenny, because there wasn't no Ozempic over here. First, no Wegovy either. All right. But I hate to say this to people, but it's like stress. Like intermittent fasting and making sure that I remained in a caloric deficit. And I really was kind of paying attention to what I was eating. I wasn't eating a lot of fast food. I still wasn't eating a lot of sweets. Like I really changed my diet. And so when people tell you that losing weight is, 80% diet and 20% exercise, that is not a lie. Had I been able to couple exercise with everything else that I was doing, like nutritionally, who knows, I probably would have been down 45 pounds. But it just wasn't it. I'm not someone who likes to work out as it is. And so, like, I absolutely hate working out. If I'm being completely honest, I hate gyms. I do not like to work out. I'm one of those people that, even though everyone's like, oh, but when you get that first workout in, you get this energy, and all, like, no. It typically, I'm not saying I don't have the energy, but I don't feel like, oh, I'm so energized and let's get the day started. Like, I am not one of those people. I loathe the gym. I've always loathed the gym. I don't like to sweat. And obviously, if you're working out and trying to lose weight and doing cardio, guess what you're gonna be doing? Sweating. So I do not enjoy working out. It is not fun for me. It is not a favorite pastime. And my husband is the exact opposite. Like, he enjoys the gym. He loves to work out. That man works out damn near every day, even if he's just doing things around the house. That ain't me. Okay. And so exercise, when I was under that amount of stress, exercise was the first thing to go. Okay. Like, girl, I'm kicking you to the curb. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Did I move my body? Yes, because I still had to get out and live and do all of these things. But was I intentionally working out at any point after, I would say, the first week of February of 2024? No, I was not. But I was still committed to being healthier. So I continued my intermittent fasting. Like I said, I continued to ensure I was in a caloric deficit pretty much on a daily basis. And I really changed my eating habits. So fast food, maybe once or twice a week. Coming from somebody who could eat fast food for lunch every single day, and then a few nights out of the week for dinner. And if I'm being honest, on the weekends, who's cooking? Because it ain't me. So fast food on the weekends, like, that was who I was. But all of that changed. I started making sandwiches at home. I wouldn't even eat during the day. I rarely ate breakfast. I would eat oatmeal for lunch, or like things like that. So very conscious health decisions. But no, I was not working out. I would love to come on here and tell everybody, like, the workouts that I was doing to lose weight. But girl, I wasn't doing no workouts. Okay, there wasn't a workout being done. Okay, so yeah, I lost 30 pounds. So it's like a lot of things happened. A lot of things transpired last year that I was not expecting. I don't think anyone, expects family members, like, they're going to pass away, but those family members that you just feel like are going to live forever, like they're going to outlive you. His mom was one of those people. Like, she didn't seem like, the heart attack to us came out of nowhere, because she didn't seem like someone who would be about to have a heart attack. So I think that also pushed me to really think about and consider what I was doing as far as my health and well-being. And so I lost 30 pounds. So that was like a good thing that came out of 2024. But slowing down just really allowed me time to figure out who I am, who I want to be, what I want to do. It gave me a lot of clarity. I'm going to be honest again, like, I didn't hang out with a lot of people last year. I was very isolated. Some of that, I don't think it was intentionally, although some of it, I know there were different time periods where I just knew I couldn't show up. You know what I'm saying? And so thank God for people who could see through the fact that I wasn't showing up. Like, it's not like, oh, here she is not coming to events again or whatever, and actually reached out and was like, how are you? Like, I know you've had a rough year. Like, thank God for those types of friends. It sounds so cliche when you say I lost some friends, but I think I realized last year that some of the relationships and friendships that, like, I had, that I thought were very important to me, I kind of realized through a lot of what I went through that the relationship may have been one-sided on my part. And maybe those people also had things going on in their life, but I don't want to say I lost a lot of friends, but my friendships changed. Some of my friendships were restored, and I thank God for that as well. A couple of my girlfriends that I was really close with in like middle and high school, and I wouldn't say, and even college, not that we had ever fallen out or anything like that, but it was like life just took everybody in different directions. And so you don't get to hang out, and you're not, you know, calling each other. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a sit on the phone and let's just talk type of a friend. It's just really not me. If you need me, I will always be there for you, and I will drop everything if I can and it's within my power to be there for you. But I'm just not the friend who's like, every day let's get on the phone and talk for 3 hours. That's just not me. Like, I need my me time. I have a family. I work a full-time 9 to 5. And before last year, and I'll say even last year, I'm not gonna like diminish what I've done. I'm a full-time content creator. Even when I wasn't actively creating content and posting it and all of that, the wheels are still turning. You're still thinking about things. You're still thinking about your comeback and what you want to do and how you want to do things differently. And at the heart of me, I am a creative. And so I'm a full-time content creator. I'm a full-time wife and mom. I'm a full-time employee, you know, so it's like I wear a lot of hats. And so I really had to give myself a lot of grace last year. And if you are in a season in your life where, you know, it kind of feels like the walls are closing in on you and you feel isolated and you feel alone, I'm just here to tell you to like push through all of that. Like, you are going through a transformation, and when you come out on the other side of that transformation, you're going to look in the mirror and you're not even going to recognize yourself. And so others will damn sure not recognize you. Like, you are going to come out an entirely different person, but for the better. And I can honestly tell you that everything that I experienced in 2024 was for the betterment of who LaResa Eyvon is and who LaResa Eyvon is called to be and who she is about to become. Every single bit of it. My marriage grew stronger. My relationship with my son grew stronger. My relationship with myself grew stronger. And my relationship with God grew stronger. It blew my mind. We locked in. Ain't no switching up. You feel what I'm saying? So, if you're going through a season like that, lean into it. Like, that's what I had to keep telling myself to do. Like, there were days that I wanted to give up and throw in the towel and be like, you know, what is life? Like, what in the fuck is like, there were days, weeks, probably months that I was just like, what is going on? And on top of all of the things that you're like going through, like, our life was just, there was so much going on. Like, our car broke down. Like, we had to put the car in the shop, and it was like there were different repairs in the house that like this broke and we had to get this done. And so like there were so many like obstacles. Like, you really felt like, damn, I'm in the trenches. But at the same time, the peaks were peaking. Like, the things that I needed to take me up here were happening as well. So yes, I was going down to the depths of the valley, but at the same time, I could see the peaks of the mountaintop. And I think in 2025, we're going to climb the mountain. We're like making our way up the mountain, and I can see, I don't want to say I can see the finish line, but I can see where God is leading me. But before I got there, I just felt like I really needed to just sit down with you all and just be like, I know, girl. I know what happened to me, okay? And let you all know what happened. Because at the end of the day, I am human. While I love creating content, and I know a lot of people, I don't want to say rely on my content, but I know that there are people out there, even if it's just 1, 2, or 3 of y'all, that look for me for inspiration and, you know, to help you get out of your negative mindset and things like that. But there were a lot of days that I couldn't show up and pour into you the way that I would have wanted to, because my cup wasn't full. Like, at the end of the day, my cup wasn't full. And when they say you can't pour from an empty cup, believe it, because I didn't have it. I didn't have it in me to pour into others. Like, a lot of, if you all don't know, I'm on Instagram at LaResa Eyvon. Every single morning, I have a coffee chat post that goes up in my stories, and it's usually something motivational or inspirational or funny, you know, whatever. But so many of those posts last year were me to me. There was like, I think if I'm being honest, there were times where I was like, I hope this helps, you know, someone else. But at the end of the day, I was talking to me. Like, I was trying to motivate and inspire myself. And I can say it worked in a way. Like, in a way it worked. I tried to consume less content and all of the things last year. Like, last year was really just a focus on me type of year. Get my mind back right, so that I could show back up in this space for you all in the way that I know that I can, in the way that I want to, because I love pouring into other people. I've told you all before, being able to just sit down and share and inspire, and, you know, and people that feel that from you and tell you, like, I love you because you know, you inspire me, you know, you uplift me and things like that. Like, I'm rooting for everybody. I'm rooting for myself. And so I think I needed that time just to put into perspective what matters. I think 2024 was really a year of me focusing on what matters. God reminding me what matters, and I can take all of the lessons that I learned in 2024 and apply them to the life that I am building and creating in 2025. So this is a whole new version of me. Probably the best version of me, probably the most authentic version of me. And throughout that entire process, that's what I heard God like telling me to do. It's just get back to you. Get back to who LaResa Eyvon is. The core of who you are is what I need for you to get back to. Like, that was him telling me, like, this is the time. Like, if you do what I'm asking you to do and slow down and quit thinking you're in a rush and quit comparing yourself to this person and that person, and realize that it's just you versus you. It's me and you, and I got you. Like, you don't have to have it all figured out. I got it all figured out. You don't have to know what the next step is going to be, because I know what the next step is going to be. And to be able to fall into that and to lean on that, and not feel like I have to, even though we all say, like, God's got it all figured out. You don't have to. We all say that, but then we don't move like that. And so I can recognize that that's who I was. I was saying, you know, I'm like, God lead the way, but I'm back here trying to take the lead, you know what I'm saying, at every point. And so last year I really had to, like, it was like, you don't have anybody else to lean on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have got to let him lead the way. You don't know. There's so much darkness that was going on. It was like the glimpses of light were so hard to see that I had to just hold on to the hem of that garment, honey, and lead me, God. Okay. And so that's the season that I am in. That is the season that I want to remain in forever. Like, I've learned so much about me. I've learned so much about who God is. And just I've learned so much about my family, like who we are, who we want to become, all of the things. And so, yeah, that was a lot, but that's where I've been. So if you ask me, where have you been? that's where I've been. I have been learning to love myself again, learning to lean on God again, being there for my family, and now I'm ready to be here for you all again. I'm ready. Like, I am, like, 2025, I'm excited. So much has transpired already in 2025. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was like, look, I might have to, like, unsubscribe to this 14-day trial of 2025 because there is just too much going on. We done had blizzards on one side of the country, fires on another side of the country. Stupo is about to be back in office. He done banned a whole app and brought the whole app back, and now the people of America are acting like they're stupid and slow and they don't recognize what the man is like. There has been so much in 2025 that just makes me scratch my head, but at the same time I'm leaning and trusting God in this, and he told me it's time to come back, and so here I am making my way back. 2025 is going to be exciting. There's going to be so much new for this channel. I've been laughing at myself because I keep saying, like, I feel like my content is going to be a little all over the place, but at the same time, it's all going to come together. So I'm happy to be back. I hope you all are happy that I'm back. I do want to hear from you what you all want to see from me, because while I have a laundry list of things that I am excited to record and share with you guys, I also want to know what you all want to see. This channel is going to remain focused and centered on all of the things that I love. Like, nothing is really going away. It's just going to be a better version of me that is bringing you all the content. Somebody who's not overthinking it. Somebody who is just gonna show up and be herself. Who's gonna push this button. If I want to sing, bitch, I'm gonna sing. You know what I'm saying? If I want to cuss, bitch, I'm gonna cuss. If that's not your cup of tea, maybe I'm not your cup of tea, and it is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't make the subscribe button a permanent button for a reason. Like, if you need to unsubscribe, like if this is no longer your vibe, feel free to unsubscribe. But if this is your vibe and you can get with me just showing up on this app in this space and being my whole self, if that's your vibe, go ahead and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you all want to see on this channel. If you're new here, if this is the first video, this is your first time you've ever seen me, I love all things fashion and style. I love beauty. I love talking about confidence, and that's what Work Your Wins was. Work Your Wins got a rebrand. So again, clarity, 2024 clarity is what I received, and so I've completely rebranded Work Your Wins. It is now called The Workshop, but we will have dedicated videos on this channel that are dedicated to the workshop, and that's like my confidence boosting program, if you will. I don't want to put air quotes because this is a thing. We're not playing small anymore. I'm not going to keep diminishing my talents. I'm not going to keep acting like I don't know what I'm good at. I'm good at putting a look together. I am good at skincare and beating my face. Now, don't be trying to ask me to be your makeup artist, because no. But can I get myself together every single time? Every single time, okay? So putting looks together, beating this face, and honestly just encouraging and inspiring you to be your most confident self, the best version of you. I love to just sit down, chit chat, talk, and to pour into people. So like I said, that is not going away. But if there are any types of video suggestions, anything specifically that you want to see, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in this video. This was a long video. Like, I hope you all paused it at some point and went and got you a little drinky drink or a little snacky snack, because I didn't realize I was going to get on here and talk this much, but here we are. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe. Follow me over on Instagram at LaResa Eyvon. I am also on TikTok at LaResa's Pieces. And we're going to have a good time in 2025. Okay? I love y'all so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye.